In this video, I'd like to give you a quick tour of the Photoshop interface and how it works. When you first open a file, you'll be in the default Essentials workspace. This workspace is located here, along with the other workspaces. If you're not seeing your Photoshop interface looking like mine, you can reset your Essentials workspace by clicking here. This is the document window. Files that are open appear in this window in tabs across the top. I'll open a few more files to show you what this looks like. I'll click Command or Control-O to open files. They will each open in their own separate tab. You can rearrange the image tabs just by clicking on the tab and dragging it to another location within the tags. You can also grab an image by its tab and drag it out so it becomes its own window, and then to put it back, you just drag it back into the tab group. As in every other Windows and Macintosh application, at the top you'll find the menus. Everything that you can do in Photoshop is somewhere in these menus. Take some time to explore them. On the left, we have the Tools panel. If you hover your mouse over any of the tools in the panel, you'll get a little display with an animation showing you what the tool does. Notice that nearly all the tools have a little triangle down in the lower right corner of the tool. Clicking on the tool and holding your mouse for a moment will bring up a pop-out box showing even more tools nested within. The letters next to each tool are the shortcut key for that tool. Notice that more than one tool has the same shortcut key. To switch between, you just hold your Shift key down and press the letter repeatedly to switch tools. Whenever you click on a tool, a set of options for that tool will appear in the options bar above. Here I've got my type tool selected, and so you see type options up above, such as font and font size, justification, so forth. In the optional section of Lesson 3A, I have created an interactive PDF file for you. If you click on any of the tools in the pop-out menus, you will be taken to a video that will demonstrate how to use that tool. These are the panel windows. This is about where all the adjustments take place in Photoshop. This is where the work happens. You can access all the panels in the window menu. If they're checked, they're showing. If they're not checked, just click on one to make it show up. Let's take a closer look at a panel. This is the Layers panel. Every panel will display different options for that particular panel. In this row, we can search layers by different types. This row lets us play with layer blending options and the opacity of a selected layer. These options let us lock down specific things and play with the fill level. These are the actual layers. You can have many layers in a document. Think of it as a stack that you're looking down through from the top. This bottom row in the Layers palette has other options like special effects, layer masks, adjustments, grouping layers into folders, adding a new layer, or deleting a layer. Every Photoshop panel window has a little 3-line menu that if you click on it, a pop-out menu will appear. Every panel is different and has different options. So don't worry right now about knowing everything about each one. We'll be learning about those as we go along. Just understand that these are the basic parts of panels. Every panel has a little double arrow that if you click on it will either expand or contract that panel. So for example, over here on the tools, if I click on that, the tools line up in 2 rows, and click on it again, it becomes a single row. You can save space by collapsing panels down if you need more room to look at things. If you click on any of the panel names, it will pop out if it's been contracted down like so. And then clicking again will make it disappear. You can move by clicking and dragging. You see that little blue box? If I put it over here, it will add it to one of those sets. If I put it where a line appears, it will actually move it over. Or if I put it where a little blue line or square appears, it will drop it in there. And then, of course, if you ever mess things up totally, you can come back here and reset your panels to the way that you have them. Photoshop is completely customizable. If I wanted my tools over here, for example, I could put them on this side. I could drag my library panel over there, and I can drag my tools. When a line appears, I can drop it in right there and have more room for the main window, the image window. If I get things to the point where I really like them, I can come in here, create a new workspace. Let me call this one Test. And I can save my keyboards, my menu, my toolbars, and that becomes a saved space. So if for some reason I come into Essentials and it's set this way, I can come back here and say, well, I would like to go to my test one, and there you have it. If I want to come in and delete a workspace, I can't delete the active one. I have to go into a different workspace. Then I can come down and delete workspace. This will pop up, and I can choose the one that I want to delete and delete it out of there. Finally, down at the bottom, you have a couple of informational dialogs here. One is size, so if I wanted to see this at 100% size, I could just type in 100 and press return, and that would do that. Here, it'll give you information like the dimensions and things along that line. So that's a quick overview of the interface of Photoshop. Play around with it, explore, have fun.